White Walker perpetuated offenses are considered especially heinous. In Westeros, 4 dedicated friends investigate and discuss these vicious episodes as members of an elite squad known as A Podcast Has No Name.
I'm Afro.
I'm Ambush.
I'm Castro.
And I'm Morgan, and we are A Podcast Has No Name. And today we are discussing Game of Thrones, Season 8, Episode 1, Winterfell.
I make sure everything remains raw. I make sure everything remains raw. He ha 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 he ha 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 he. There's only 5 episodes left.
Oh my god.
Oh God.
Well, welcome.
In the year of our
you
Lord.
miss us.
So, Castro,
Yes. No more Essos, y'all. Not in the budget. We ain't seen that
what'd
place
you
no
do
more.
last night?
I went mad. I had my windows open, screaming. Different houses out my window. I live in a white neighborhood. I think somebody called, like, first they'll call the neighborhood watch, then they'll call the cops. So I think I saw the neighborhood watch guy, and I was just screaming out, Daenerys, the Targaryen, and, all types of things. But one of the greatest shows in my lifetime has
Because you were
returned.
watching the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, the World Cup of Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
anything else.
Absolutely.
I was even late for work Monday morning, and they said something to me about me being late. They said, "Oh, Game of Thrones is on, so Kente's probably late." So,
Did that work out
Right
just
you
fine
are.
for you?
I was late. So, it was a tornado. Too, so.
You were right.
No, we
I was late.
had
I
a-
did
we had-
watch Game of Thrones last night.
We had a tornado last night about 3:30 in the morning. I'm not joking.
Wow.
It
What?
was like a tornado warning. They said get to shelter and a warning and all that shit. Yeah. So
Where'd you go?
one of my
Your
friends.
bathtub?
I went back to bed. I closed all my windows and went to sleep.
Shelter.
I got 4 animals, so any early warning, they're gonna let me know if it's real bad because they want to get out of here. So when they went back to sleep, I figured it wasn't too bad. But all my windows were open because of the fresh air, and literally sheets of rain were flying sideways. And I said, "Oh, let me close these windows." And
Yikes.
yeah, so Game of Thrones premiere and a tornado in Philadelphia.
It sounds right.
Yep.
I've only been through in that situation once in my life, and it was terrifying.
Where were you at? What part of the country?
I was in Dallas, Texas,
Oh, ooh.
and I had never
Yeah.
been somewhere that had that whole city alarm, and the
Did you have to
floodlights
take
that
shelter?
come out.
Did you have to take
I
shelter?
got in my bathtub.
Oh
I
no.
got my. Well, no, because there was nowhere to go. It was too late.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Touchdown.
No, I
So
think
it was-
that's great. But
And my apartment at that time had a wall full of windows. So I went in the bathroom, closed the bathroom door, and slept in my bathtub.
okay.
Yeah, that was safe. I made it out.
All right, well, we're glad to have you, Morris. All right.
right.
Morris, you want to know what I did last night?
I do want to know what you did last night, Al.
I went to the grocery store and I copped those Game of Thrones Oreos that you showed us.
Aha!
Oh, I want some. All my stores are sold out. I want some.
Oh, that's awful.
I
We
went
have
to
an
like
extra
4
bag
stores.
over here. So.
Well, we're gonna order.
Just
My
come on
friend said
over.
I could order it on Amazon and go pick it up from some Amazon locker. I've never done that before, but
Oh,
pretty
man,
small.
it's the coolest.
Yeah, it's really convenient.
It's pretty
what,
great.
your stuff is in the locker or something? Like a
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is weird, but it's there. And you just scan the code, and it pops open and has your stuff inside.
Yeah.
So, Ab, did you eat the Oreos or did you just keep them in the package?
Was my
from
follow-up
Memento?
question.
I did not eat them, and I'm trying to decide if I want to save them forever or like, will they be worth money someday with their stale asses?
I don't know. They are perishable.
You
The
can eat
perishable
anything.
things, yeah, but the perishable things don't garner much resale value.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
stuff is made
That's
of
the way
obsidian
it's
dragon glass. That stuff's gonna last for 1,000 years.
It's just
Made of
something,
dragon glass.
it's just something cool to like have on display. You definitely couldn't get money for it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sidebar, guys. My baby waves now. He waves high and high.
Oh, no.
it's the best. He just waved at me.
He just waved at me.
It's like meeting him all over again.
Yes.
All
That's
right.
incredible.
Oh man.
All right, well, let's get it started.
Okay,
It's a big call.
yeah. So in accordance with this being the last season, we thought we would change up the format on y'all, loyal listeners. I know some people have been with us for some years, and we've actually been doing this call, recorded or not, for about 5 years, 6 years, y'all.
Yeah.
Something
like that.
Since season 3 or something. So,
I mean, I've been living here 5 years, and y'all was doing it longer. Like, I came in the beginning of living here, and y'all was doing it for a minute before that, too.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, how long have we been recording? 3 years or 2 years?
2017 is our, I think, like, November 2017, I think. I have to double check. But it was definitely 2017 was our first episode we posted.
For the listeners, we've been working on this because back in the day, our calls were 3 hours, 4 hours.
Man,
Yeah.
people were at their jobs.
The whole
it was ridiculous.
We had people leaving, coming back on the call.
Yeah, we had daytime
I thought we
calls.
used to do the call during the day.
Yeah, people were at work on these calls.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was crazy.
Oh, and ask commute.
Yeah.
Like you be on your way on the shuttle. Yo.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I would be at work hiding in one of the office rooms.
Talking all low.
And I'll tell people I'm on a conference call. I put a little note inside the door. I'm on a conference call. Please do not
I'm on a call. Don't disturb.
I'm in the room screaming about Daenerys.
Oh my God.
Oh, those are the days. All right, so we broke down the episode in certain ways, and we hope to get some good copy out of it. So, first category is, and now our watch has ended. So now that you watched this first episode and it's called Winterfell, what are some of your thoughts and reactions from the episode? Like, just what did you think of the episode in total? I'd like to start with Ash.
Oh, word. Okay, so I was amazed in one of those like really kind of calm ways because it wasn't like we haven't gotten into like any battles or wars or like any major conflict yet. But I feel like so many gems and like things still happen. Like it seemed like people online were just kind of like underwhelmed in some ways, and I was not. I was like, oh my God, so much just happened. So many people, like I counted about, I don't know, 10 or so reconnections that happened in this episode.
Yes.
People who have not seen each other since
for years.
The first season, exactly, it's so long. And so I was just like, I mean, the opening sequence, like there was like a lot of humor, even though it was like still really dark throughout the episode, and they in fucking gloomy ass Winterfell, I felt like we got some payoffs, some things we had been waiting for, finally happened. So I was fucking pleased. I'm sorry that some of the internet world was underwhelmed, but I feel like if you really like fuck with this show, then you should have been really excited with what you got, because it was just so much happened in one episode.
I think online you find a lot of first timers in the sense that they just binged it, they're just getting into it, so they don't know the emotional depth of some of these reunions we were seeing. To them, it seems like, I remember somebody texted me late last night, was like, "Where's the action?" And I was like, do you understand how much happened in this episode? A lot of things that we've been waiting on for 4 or 5 years just literally happened in this episode, and they weren't wasting any time.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a matter of accelerated timeline, like people moving too fast or dragons moving at warp speed. They were just like, yo, we need this to happen. Bang, that happened. What's next? We need this. We're going to do that. We're not wasting no time. There's no they're trimming all the fat. And I just wanted to pick up on Av's point about the opening. When I saw that they put a hole in the wall,
oh my God,
that's one of the moments that the neighborhood watch definitely was called, because I was screaming out my window. I was like, yeah, it's my son, my show is back. My dogs jumped on me. We were having a grand old time. They thought I was in distress because I was screaming and hollering. But the opening itself was wonderful, just like I've said. But that hole in the wall, from seeing that opening for all of those years and to see a distinct hole in the wall, and then to see the tile slip over the show like White Walker territory. Oh
Yeah,
my
man.
goodness.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Yo,
Av.
Am.
Yeah, I agree with you, Av, as far as the people's reaction kind of throwing me off. But I do think it has to do with what Castro said as far as them binging it. And there is a level of emotion that they're missing because we had to watch all of this play out in real time. And, you know, we had to wait in between the seasons. And
They don't have the agony.
Yeah, the agony, the anticipation. Like, they don't have all of that. They literally straight through the entire thing. And that is a lot of action.
So they're not real ones. That's what y'all saying.
They're not real ones. They not.
I mean, they
tried.
Little Kim said it.
You know.
Little Kim said it. You know, some real ones.
But yeah. There wasn't a single part of this episode that I felt like was a waste of time. Like it was very concise. Every single thing that happened. I mean, there were things going on in the background. Like Brienne, who didn't have a single speaking part, but she was right there.
Mm-hmm.
Brienne was right there when they.
And also, y'all noticed niggas coming to town. I love that reaction.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Oh my God,
that
was the best.
It was like
when the Dothraki started rolling in and Missandei with all that brown on him.
Yeah, they were ready for that.
Yeah. And you know that feeling when you are the black person realizing that the white person looking at you has never seen a black person before.
Yeah.
Right. There's a very specific. It's not just like, oh, people are staring at me. It's like, oh, you ain't never seen a nigga before.
Yeah.
As opposed to like,
that was.
Y'all ain't never seen no niggas before.
That was excellent direction. That was excellent direction because we felt that. That was superb direction.
Yeah. When the Dothraki rolled through there, it was like, oh, didn't he party in? Them niggas is back. Coming to dinner and shit. Am, what was your Am? I wanted to get your thoughts on what were your reaction on the episode as a whole.
Yeah. Overall, I mean, of course, I would have liked more because you just want more, but I feel like they touched on everything that needed to be touched on within that first episode. There was no need to rush to the battle because there were so many things that have to be handled before we got to the battle. Just the way last season ended, we were waiting in anticipation just to see the Night's King again, not realizing there was a lot of moving parts. I mean, Euron coming back with the Golden Company, and seeing how Cersei is trying to play all these parts against each other, and just again the reunions were extremely, extremely important. Like everyone had to get on the same page, and I think this episode did it very well. Yeah, and for those that didn't get on the same page, they at least established where they were and how they felt. Shout out to Lil Bear. Sheesh.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
More. What were some of your initial just overall thoughts and reactions to that?
I don't want to sound like a tape recorder and say exactly what everybody else has already said, but it was shocking to me that people were not pleased with this. This was such a good first episode to the last season. It would have been a good episode as an opening to a season, no matter what. But the amount of payoffs that we got, the amount of tie-ins, the amount of tension that they started in the last one, gave us some of it in season 7, gave us a little bit of the reminders for them so that you do. I mean, when you leave a show and the last thing you see is an undead dragon blowing a constant stream of blue fire at something, I can understand where some people lost the focus, right? That there are all these other moving parts and that they want to pick right back up where that left off. But just like everything in this show, it's not just about one thing. So as John has to constantly remind everybody that there are White Walkers, there are bigger things than titles. There are also all of those human interactions that matter to be able to do this battle. And getting everybody in the same place, getting everybody on the same page, at least they understand, for the most part, how big of a threat this is, was huge. And to have that meeting where there's no more of this like, okay, Littlefinger's gonna go whisper in someone's ear that then's gonna whisper in someone else's ear. It's like they're all just being direct with each other now. And haven't we all waited for that moment? Yeah. Haven't we all waited for the moment where it's like, Bran, use your fucking mouth, talk. And then he did. And it was like, shit, Bran talks now. Like, Bran's out here giving cliff notes to fucking the whole entire everybody's life. By the way, your baby's dead. It's reanimated. Like, he's just, yeah, the shit was mind blowing to me. So I don't know how anybody comes away from this upset or feeling as if they didn't get enough. Everything's not a battle. every episode's not a battle. I don't know what they're expecting. If they thought, where's the action? That's funny to me, you know, like there was a ton of fucking action in a different way in this.
Thank you. Yeah. Dramatic action. And to fill the listeners in, there was a lot of somewhat negative backlash, just in terms of they didn't think there was enough spark or fizzle to the episode. And us longtime watchers, we know what it is, and we knew what to kind of expect. And
real quick, when Bran did speak, to everybody, just kind of just reel it in. We don't have time to, dispense with the pleasantries, and said what he said to Daenerys about, your dragon's dead, and it belongs to the Night King. Like, the reaction on her face, and just, like, I totally forgot that we knew what happened, but she hadn't. Like, it totally slipped my mind. Like, she's getting this information for the first time. No one flew a raven to let her know this. Like,
and also, like, when you didn't notice when she first came in through court and the dragons flew over and she was smiling with that. Right. If y'all don't know the underlying arrogance that she's starting to build, and she was smiling, and I thought it was like a little disingenuous. So, like, one of the dragons died, so I'm glad that they had. But it was a little disingenuous. So, like, well, one of them is gone, recently gone. So I thought it was good for Bran to bring her down to earth. Like, he has that dragon that you just forgot. So let me hit on some things. So with me, it was just basic effusive excitement for the return of Game of Thrones. I was literally beside myself, jumping up and down with all my pets. They looking at me like I'm crazy. What is he doing? Thank God he fed us already, because he might drop dead. The euphoria of seeing a brand new opening sequence, like Av said, like that thing looked gorgeous. Like they showed the underground tunnels where they built the dragon harpoon. Like they showed that animated thing. And if you look online, there's a good either online or on The Ringer, I think has theringer.com has a good piece on how they constructed that opening sequence from first season till now, how they wanted to specifically make it out of wooden piece. Like they wanted you to think that somebody of that time actually made this thing and you could put your hands on it. And it wasn't like some CGI thing. That was pretty important to them. Also, I just love the beauty of dragon work this episode. We'll get into that, but the dragons actually look gorgeous. Like they even had like a translucent color, like they were red and green at the same time. And also, I love the parallel from episode 1, season 1, which was called Winter's Coming. Like this episode was definitely like a damn near mirror image of how things happen in season 1 and episode 1, and I thought that was deliberate and pretty telling. He's down in the crypts. We were down in the crypts episode 1. There's an entourage that comes through. The entourage came through episode 1. All of those things. So I really enjoyed
the boy running in the beginning and us like following him through the crowd and like up into a tree, like very much like Bran crawling up to or climbing up to the top of the castle.
And Arya running around with that the helmet backwards. Remember, she was running around with the helmet backwards in the first episode, trying to get a better vantage point, as well as Bran doing all that climbing. All right, so let's slide into the next piece.
I'm sorry, real quick, before you move on, I just wanted to say that in the last season, I think the pace was something we kept talking about, and how like it was just moving faster than we were used to, blah blah blah. And I feel like they prepared us for this season. Yeah. And for people who, again, those folks who are like, oh, I didn't get a payoff or it was really slow, it's like, yo, we used to have to wait so many episodes to get all those things we got in this one episode. And the pace of last episode prepared us for all of the things we were able to get and digest in this one episode and be like, oh, okay, I'm used to this pace now. You know what I mean? So
You're right.
I thought that was interesting.
Also,
Gendry ran
censoring the
from
action.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
But censoring the action, like if you notice, a lot of stuff is happening up in Winterfell except Cersei shit.
Right.
So I think also censoring the action helps us with the accelerated pace, like I was saying. Because remember, our big problem was traveling.
Yep.
You know, light speed dragons.
Right.
Like
It was
not just
taking
that.
forever.
Looking back
to
on,
get
you know who else used to move like that? Littlefinger was zigzagging
all
He was
the
all over the place.
time.
All over the place.
Yeah.
He popped up, hey, walking. Remember he popped up on Catelyn? Hey, what's up? She's like, what? Like,
Right.
I just
How did
remember all
you
that
get
now.
here, fool?
Then he was at the Vale. He was all over the place. But yeah, just the fact
Yes,
that
he was a
Gendry ran
teleport.
from that battle back to the wall in like 3 minutes of the episode. Like,
And they had to send a, remember, Daenerys wasn't at the wall. They had to send a raven to where she was at.
Right.
Then she came flying back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was
come
at Dragonstone.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
That
we're
was,
not.
that
No
was
back.
serious business.
Okay, let's move on to the next. This is a category with that we hold quite dear because it's named after one of the greatest characters on the show.
Ever.
May she rest in peace, Queen of Thorns. So this section is called Olenna's Revenge, and question being, who or what, but mainly what do you think will come back and bite someone from this specific episode?
Mm-hmm.
What seeds do you think were planted that might grow a weed later on and snatch somebody back into the ground? I'm going to start with Mort.
The first thing I think of immediately is Tyrion's dumbass believing in Cersei. And I feel like they really hit that hard multiple times in this episode, where it was just like, are you dumb? Why do you think she's on her way? Like, where are you from? You've known her your whole life. What are you doing? That's the first thing that jumps out for me, is that shit's gonna bite somehow, some way. Tyrion's gonna have to pay for this moment of, I don't even know what to call it. Like, is he being naive?
Always trying to save his family. If we look at it, there's a lot of moments where he's really about his family being involved in life and death. Not his family being involved, but involved in life and death situations. Albeit the dragons, albeit fighting on our side instead of, fighting a triple side. A lot of that. He definitely still.
Yeah, I definitely don't disagree with you there. I just think this is talking about the fate of their world that they know, and for him to even. He knew that she wouldn't even understand it unless she saw it. They had to capture a fucking white and bring it a gazillion miles to show her, and then still convince her even after that. Like, I don't know what makes him think he won that debate. You know what I mean? I'm not understanding why he thinks that's going to happen.
Can I interject here? Remember how we wondered why she turned around and came back, and we thought there was a little blind spot in the show in terms of, like, maybe her and Tyrion had a conversation after he found out she was pregnant, and they went away from that scene, and then she suddenly comes back. Do y'all think there's something going on with Tyrion and his sister that they didn't show us on screen? Particularly from that moment.
No, I don't.
No?
I don't.
It came back up when I was talking to somebody.
Primarily because this gap, this year and 7 month gap, allowed me to kind of forget the string of bad decisions. Not completely forget, but the string of bad decisions that Tyrion was making. So this Tyrion right here, like even when he sent them to get the white, and then tells Daenerys don't go save them. Like, Tyrion was making so many bad decisions, and for him to at this point again believing in Cersei was really just part of him believing in his own plan, because all of this was part of the big picture for him. So it's like, he had to be like, of course she's going to sing, because that was the point of us going to get the white, which was also my plan. And yes, of course, this is going to work out just fine, guys. And it's not, my guy. It's not. It definitely isn't.
He hasn't looked good since season 2, y'all.
Okay.
He ain't looked good since season 2.
I wouldn't go that far, man.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying, because that's when his machinations were most effective. Once he got outcasted and became master of coin, he sent downstairs, and then he got sent away, and all this trial stuff and all this weirdo stuff. You know what I mean? He woke up downstairs like Office Space or something. And they moved his desk. Afro, what do you think will come back and bite somebody in their ass from this episode?
So I have a couple.
All right.
One, whatever Arya is having built is going to be an issue later.
Yes.
Okay. So that's going to bite
somebody
ass.
in the ass.
That's going to bite a White Walker in his ass. All
Right.
I think a White Walker, but I think that maybe something else is going on with that too. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
wait.
And really, Cassius does too. And then obviously Theon and Yara, you know, that is going to be a thing. You can't just like escape urine.
Urine.
Say his name right. Urine.
And Bronn, you know, I don't know if Bronn actually agreed or what. Like, I feel like we didn't get an actual clear, like, okay, I'm down with it.
Right.
He can't really say no to Cersei either, so he might just be, you know, rolling along with the minute.
Can we chat about that?
But the convincing moment in that was Qyburn explaining, look what she's done for me. And I was kicked out of the Citadel with rags. What do you think she's going to do for you if you kill my brothers with the crossbow that killed my father? So,
right.
You know, he's laying it on pretty thick, but he's making a very convincing argument. It's not just Cersei's lies. It's like, look what she does for me. I'm good over here.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I just don't think Bronn is motivated by the same thing.
I agree.
You don't think he want money and pussy? You don't think he want money and pussy?
He could have had that a long time ago. He could have had that a long time ago.
I think he was interrupted while getting one of those things. You know what I mean? Like, Bronn has also traveled with both of them, right? Both of the brothers.
Right.
He has been a part of their lives far more than Cersei. And if we remember, Tyrion said to him when they were traveling buddies, and he was now his paid mercenary kind of dude or personal security, he was like, just remember, if anybody tries to offer to pay to kill me, I'll pay you double. So I think that matters. I think that matters. I think Bronn knows that Cersei is a double-crossing C word and knows that there's no reason for him to trust her either. She is the reason he didn't get the things he was supposed to get.
Right.
It doesn't matter that Qyburn said, oh, no, that wasn't you.
I think he's compromised.
Okay. Well, tell us.
Something in his eyes. I think that he's compromised because who else can infiltrate the two of them the way he can?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I agree with y'all.
That's Cersei's thinking. I think that's a flaw in her thinking because she doesn't know Bronn. She doesn't know him. She just doesn't know like his character. Like, so that was what I was going to name as, you know, something coming back to bite them later on in the episode. Him actually taking that assignment and really actually taking the assignment. But I really don't. I think he's just going to take the money. He'll go down there, but he's not going to. He'll probably inform them what was going on. I think that's a smarter decision and a better payoff. Just the way the show's been, you know, has been written. Like
rolling.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see him making that dumb of a decision. It would be an unwise decision for him to make. And he's been smart this entire time.
Yeah, Bronn's not really into making dumb decisions or decisions that are like fully based in money. Like he'll make a joke about money and about, you know, sex and
why it's important.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because I mean that's part of his like little one-liners and whatnot. But he's not really fully motivated by those things.
Right. People treat him like a sellsword, but he really isn't.
Remember, he dropped the money. He had a moment. You know, and he ran off when the Dothrakis were attacking. This is my thing. Y'all. And a quick, you know, honest question. Wouldn't this be a great storytelling device for Bran to turn? I mean, Bron to turn? Like, yeah, just as a storytelling device. Wouldn't that be a really good rug pull if he really did turn and he's compromised?
Maybe, but I also don't think the showrunners would set it up this easily. I just don't. I feel like there's just more.
More to him.
Yeah.
I agree with that. These kind of things don't normally come that easy.
Of 1 or 2 episodes. We are talking about the pace though. you know. So, but I wanted to build off that and lay in my other one. I did pick also, like Ann did, Bron accepting the assassin assignment is something that could come back and bite someone in the ass. And I thought it would bite Bron in the ass specifically. Like, I think him just taking this assignment is going to turn out bad for him. And we'll probably be a little saddened by that. And then also, Cersei's pseudo-pregnancy, y'all. I'm not feeling it. I don't really believe it still.
Me neither.
I don't care.
Well,
and
she was drinking all the wine this episode.
But remember that I just think it's all messy. It's mixed up. I'm gonna get to it later. The other part of it, I don't want to spoil that right now, but I'm gonna get to it later because that's in my notes. And so I just think it's just mixy, and this whole thing's gonna mess up. Whether she is pregnant, isn't pregnant, is Jamie gonna leap in front of her to take a spear or an arrow because he thinks she's pregnant? And she's gonna whisper to him, "I really wasn't pregnant." Like, I don't know. It's just real messy. Am, did you have any more?
No, Tyrion and Bronn were the two that I had.
Okay. Did anybody? Did I miss anybody? Everybody got theirs out?
No,
okay.
we all.
Okay, so we can move right on to the next category that I like to call Pycelle's bitch ass. and I hate Pycelle. All right, but it's a good marker on our outline for what we want to talk about at this moment. And Pycelle's bitch ass section represents what were some of your gripes and grievances or issues you had with the episode. And that could be anything. That could be a shot. That doesn't have to be character driven, doesn't have to be based on a story. It could just be anything you might have had a problem with the episode. These are our final episodes, so we have the right to be critical.
Can I go?
Yes, more. I want you to kick that off.
I do not love the Jon and Dany love story at all. And
well,
what I specifically don't like... thank you. Let me finish.
I'm smiling. Sorry.
The Disney-esque Aladdin and Jasmine How to Train a Dragon moment that we had to have does not live up to what the fuck this show is. And I'm annoyed that was how they decided to show us that Jon can hop on a dragon and already knows how to park it. I think it's dope that he does.
Jon just riding the dragon more than the Aladdin
I know,
and comparison. And
so here's the thing. I just saw Aladdin like 400 times the last 2 weeks. I don't want that comparison, but it is perfect. Like, it is exactly what that reminded me of him being kind of goofy and doofy up there, like, whoa, I'm gonna like, all of that just doesn't work for me. I was really, really annoyed by that moment. Really, really annoyed by that moment. And then you all know that I hated Ygritte and I didn't want any of that bullshit either. And so that whole callback to, we're gonna be here forever together, we'll never do anything else.
Yes, you did say that line. We could stay here for 1,000 years.
Yeah, like, come on. Why does this love have to live in isolation? That's what, like, God. So yeah, there was my biggest gripe with the episode.
Okay.
Thank you, Morgan. You were just speaking my heart. Thank you.
So, Ab, jump right in. What were some of your gripes of the episode, if you had any?
So I'm tired of this tension between Sansa and Jon. I feel like they're constantly trying to create some Sansa tension. Like, the last half of the last season was about her and Arya. Now it's like, I mean, and her and Jon too in some ways, but now it's like definitely her and Jon. And like, I don't really buy that Sansa is this hater towards Dany. I feel like Sansa would be a little more indifferent and not so blatantly like the looks up and down looks that she gave her.
Wait. Y'all have siblings, right? No, not mom's sister. Is that not sister? Does anybody have sisters?
Not to that degree. Like, I mean, I feel like you have reservations, but you don't necessarily look that person up and down like that crazy and then be like, Winterfell is yours, you're great. Like, that was just so, like, I just don't, extra. I don't feel like that's Sansa's personality.
Am, did your sister?
No.
Before more, If you can,
yeah.
had your sister done that? Like,
with you saying that, it brought back an exact moment when that has definitely happened. Definitely.
Okay.
Like, that was, you saying that kind of brought it home for me. Oh, yeah, that nailed it. That definitely nailed it. I looked at it from, I didn't look
my
at it from
cousins
that
do
perspective.
that same shit.
Yeah.
It's from us men. My cousins will do that. Look you up and down, suck teeth, like rough. Like
So
when
this
they
is
first
what you're
meet you.
not understanding. I'm not saying that women don't do that or some people
Right.
don't have that personality. I don't buy that is part of Sansa's personality.
So, okay.
She is not that outright and out for. She's not that gully.
So
like, she ain't your cousin.
so
you know what I'm saying?
So
like,
so that's why I said that, to me, as far as it being her personality, that's her mom. That's Caitlyn. That's her all over again. That's what I saw. The disdain, the way she was, like, the way Sansa's moving right now, I'm seeing nothing but her mom on some real shit. Like, oh, okay, yeah, this is all coming right back. And there's going to be something, you're going to say something out of place that might bite your ass, like your mom did. But yeah, that's how it made sense to me. Like, oh, okay, you're acting like the Lady of Winterfell.
Oh, I didn't.
You're acting the way your mom used to carry
I thought
on.
you meant just acting like the mom to John, which we've never really got. Because you always acting horrible. So you acting just acting like Catelyn.
That's exactly.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good pull. I didn't think about that at all. I'm gonna think about that when I watch it again. That is really a good pull. I mean, look, her whole posture is different. That to me is like, you see how they make her stand now? Remember, she used to be a waif, lack of a better term, so again, I always want to reiterate acceleration. So if we're seeing new facets of these people, it's because they probably being deliberate about it because something's coming down the pike.
I honestly was taking her attitude that I agree, App. This isn't like the Sansa we've seen the entire series, but this is much closer to the Sansa we've seen since last season. Like that,
right?
That confidence has shifted to arrogance in some ways, and kind of like just that.
Oh yeah.
Arrogance is the word that I can think of right now. But like, and sometimes
but I guess
it's
to me that's like insecure behavior. It's not confident behavior.
Okay.
It's not. Oh, I just I knew my brother hadn't planned for the battle properly, and so I got a backup army behavior. You know what I mean? It's way deeper insecurity.
Yeah, I give you that. I definitely give you that.
It's confusing to me.
Well, I mean, she's still Lady of Winterfell, and the Queen's rolling up. Now, here's where the parallels fracture a bit. Catelyn was way more gracious to Cersei in episode 1 than definitely we're seeing Sansa be to Daenerys. Because here's another thing, y'all. Sansa ain't bend no damn knee. All right, so when she said Winterfell's yours, she ain't bow her head or bend no knee or kiss her.
Right.
Yeah, but the first thing out her mouth was, Winterfell is yours. She said, hi, nice to meet you. You're so pretty, and Winterfell's beautiful.
And she's like, you can have it.
Yours. What the fuck is that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
You can have it.
It's like when the those inhospitable Airbnb people. Yeah, well, the TV's over there, the remote.
Yeah, that's what that was. That's what I'm not going to respond.
Her whole hand right away.
Yeah. But it was,
I would expect her to be a little more strategic. It's not about like being gracious or welcoming or being nice. It's like you are supposed to be far more confident and understanding of like the situation and the gameplay and the chess moves that are happening, and I expect you to play your part as well. Wearing your feelings on your shoulder like this, I feel like that's not, like that's, I feel like she's evolved past that a little bit. So that to me is
she's 17. She's still 17. And 17. Right? She's still Molly Ringwald wearing pink in the pink room.
Bringing up,
sometimes that stuff, right?
But bringing up how she came to John's rescue with the Knights from the Vale, I feel like, again, this does err more on the side or lean more on the side of arrogance. Like, she is just in a completely different mode right now. Like, as far as her being strategic, I feel like she's just choosing to be more straightforward, period. Like, she talks to John different.
Okay.
Like, she's not pulling any punches. Like, Daenerys is coming with pleasantries, and she could have said something nice to Daenerys, but chose, okay. Basically, okay, let's give you the salt and the bread, whatever legal shit we need to do for you to be here. We're gonna do that. But I'm not gonna keep exchanging niceties with you. I don't really care at all. I don't care for you. I want to be pretty clear about that. It's like I think like yeah, she just like I don't really give a fuck about you. Like nah,
I'm gonna let you know what he's in for.
Yeah.
Af, did you have any other Pycelle gripes to report?
I do. I'm sorry. Actually, somebody else can go, and I'll get back.
You jump back in.
Yeah.
Okay, Am?
So me, I needed more brand. I feel like we're gonna. This is the last season.
You wanted more Pet Rock brand?
Well, let me say. I feel like once brand once brand turned into the Three-Eyed Raven, they kind of sprinkled him, and every time we got him, it was like, oh my God, what's he gonna say now? It's amazing. What's he gonna bring to the to the episode? And now we're in the final season. We don't have a lot of time left with Brand. So I feel like, give me more of these side conversations. Give me more from his perspective. Give me more of what he's experiencing, like they did with the whole the door situation. Like we know he's happening. He's experiencing life in different time zones at the exact same time. Let's get a little bit more of that. So I mean, I'm still happy with what they did. I would have appreciated more Brand. And then also Ghost. Why did we get Ghost? Because Ghost was left.
Because we got all that dragons.
But Ghost was left.
We got all them dragons.
I understand that, but the Ghost
they only can afford one at a time.
Ghost was left at the wall.
One at a time.
The wall has been abandoned.
Yes.
The wall has been abandoned.
Yeah.
So he should have been with them in that final scene. Like, where are you, bro?
I think I suspect he'll pop up during the Battle of Winterfell.
Yeah, he's got to.
But they said he'll have more of a presence. But a special effects budget.
Yeah.
But can I piggyback on what you were saying about Bran? Steve will play. Bran is a wash. All right, he's just like Rickon / Tommen. He's a wash. He's a waste of nothing. He just sits there staring off. Like, why can't he even give me a smirk? Can he raise his eyebrow? Give me something. When he looked at Jamie, can he give me something? A glimmer,
a smirk.
Some type of emotion. That was a smirk. Y'all saw a smirk.
We got smirks before.
Y'all got a smirk.
Yeah, we got two smirks from him. We got two smirks. Jamie got a smirk and John got a smirk.
He's a pet rock. He was all flashy when we first got him. Everybody had one in their house. Now that shit fell behind the big ass floor model TV and nobody gives a fuck. And who cares? He's not doing anything now. Like, I like his moment of we don't have time, but it seemed like that went on deaf ears. It seemed like everybody was just cold in the room. Like, yeah, whatever, the cripple's talking. Like, I'm so through with this. So look, he ain't even doing what he's supposed to do, y'all. The Three-Eyed Raven stood in a tree and grew old, and he didn't do anything. So I'm starting to think, is Bran really supposed to do anything? Three-Eyed Raven sat there and sent out messages, but Bran didn't get the messages until he fell out the tower. I'm tired. I'm tired of the preface and the setup. What is this, like the Prestige? Like, what the fuck? What's going on? What are you doing? Are you going to do something? I need you to do something. Cause I'm about to fucking widow his ass and Daniel Kaluuya and just kick his ass out the chair. Do something now, Bran.
Okay, wait. But he did do something. He did two big things that you were waiting for yesterday.
Yes. He urged Sam to tell John because he knew Sam would be able to tell John and John would take it. Yes. And he bumped into Jamie. Yes. But I'm with Ann. I need a little...
And he told Danny, we ain't got time for this shit.
Yeah, okay. Okay, he told about her. Okay, yes. He's great as the exposition leader. We knew we were going to need that. You know what I'm saying? If that's a Raven, now it's him. But my thing is, like, I need a little more from him specific. You know what I'm saying? Like, that mirror, I went back and watched that mirror scene. When Mirror came back and looked at him, we left our ancestral home. We came to get you. We saved you like 3 times. My brother died. And all you can say is, I'm the Three-Eyed Raven. Please buy me at the counter. I talk like this all the time. I want to be a friend. Like, I can't believe that he did that. She's all grown up now. They probably had to rehire her. Spend, 6 figures to get her back for one scene. And he's just like, I'm tired, y'all. I'm done with Bran. I'm way off Bran. I don't care if he's Bran in the builder. I don't think he whispered to the Night King. All those little rumors we don't talk about this season, all that shit is bunk. He's washed. I don't believe in none of that shit.
Oh my God! I feel the exact opposite. I love.
I mean, seriously,
this is wild. It was gonna be a meme before the night was over. I was like, oh, he's gonna be a meme tomorrow morning. You just watch.
It definitely was.
Exactly.
And yeah, I love that he has like no emotion. He's like, I'm a fucking raven now. I don't deal in these human emotions. I don't have time for y'all shit. I'm sitting here waiting on visions that I can see, and an old friend is on the way. So I'll just.
And that was kind of like
So
Yeah, that was waiting for Jamie.
Okay.
my man waited for 100 days and 100 nights. He was like, he on the
He sure did. He's like, I'm just gonna be here for one more night.
I'll be right here waiting for you.
Right here. Oh, you know, now that App says that, it reminds me of the Cosby Show when they turned the couch towards the door.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Vanessa.
exactly.
Waiting for Vanessa to come home.
Maybe you'll come home late.
Wait for Vanessa to come back from the
Baltimore. Big fun with
okay.
the wretched.
Okay.
From the wretched.
Okay. But are y'all hearing what I'm saying at all? Just I want him specifically to start like doing shit.
You.
Okay. All right.
I
got one more
we
thing.
just don't agree.
Yeah.
Indeed. And I got one more thing, and then I can pass it off. The other thing that is riding on me like Pycel's fake ass posture is the CGI was surprisingly sus in some sections. Like I'm into the show, I'm staring at it, right? But the reason it bothered me is the frozen waterfall scene, right? There was one shot that looked honky as hell, like green screen wise, but then the other 5 shots looked perfect. So that's what was getting me with some of the CGI and some of the dragons flying too. It was like 1 or 2 scenes. It seemed like they just said, "Look, this is the best we're going to get it." But then the other scenes looked so great. That's why I could notice. That's why I noticed the flubs. It wasn't like the whole waterfall scene was shot or the whole dragon dueling dragons was shot. It was like little shots here and there. I was like, but then it would come back and look great. And I was like the translucent dragons when the sun shone through their wings and underneath is red and on top is green. Come on. Y'all got to understand, that's 8 months of work. It got to be. That's incredible. So the CGI was just a little sus to me in some places. But, you know, like I said, I'm just nitpicking.
I remember, yep, my grievance. My other one was, what's his name? Sam. First of all, clumsy-ass Sam. Don't really like the way he broke the news to John. I felt like he went way around the whole thing. Like,
well, he was mad though, right? He was mad at Daenerys a little bit.
He was mad at Daenerys, which I also thought was bullshit because I just watched the episode where his father cussed him out at the dinner table, and he ended up stealing the sword in that same.
Well, he wasn't mad at the father.
Yeah, I don't think he was really cared about the dad like that.
It's when he found out his brother, and he
was upset about his brother.
Simultaneously, he has to be the head when his brother's gone. He has to be the head now, so maybe that was more emotional to him.
Either way, I'm fine. Whatever. You're sad your family died. I'm okay with that. But the way that you approach the conversation to John, like for me, that was just a little off. Like I felt like he just took the road that was like traveled the most, or I don't know, maybe the less traveled. I don't know. That's a bad analogy. It was just bad.
There's a cow coming down the hill
at all.
And
you know, I did read somewhere that like that you know during that time to be having sex with your aunt was probably not the worst thing in the world. So maybe that's maybe that's why he didn't lead with that, and I was kind of like looking for that. But then like. He was like, did you know that she killed my family? And, like, John don't fucking, like, why would y'all know that? Like, we fucking out here riding dragons and, like, having pillows. Like, we chilling. We not talking about who she, I don't know. It was just, it wasn't.
Well, as he was trying to manipulate John's decision. He was trying to manipulate John. That's why he did it that way.
Yeah, he brought up the point about John being merciful. You would have saved him.
He led.
You saved him, right? Like,
he led with what she did. He led with what she did wrong in his view, and then basically laid it on the table. And now this is what you got to do because you're actually the king. And will she lay like?
Right.
He baited it like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got you now. That does make sense now.
Yeah. But I agree with you. The writing was clunky because of the way they set up Sam to get mad. I mean, I totally forgot, y'all, that she would have to bump into him.
Me too.
And tell him that. But that was the one reunion I didn't have on the mind.
Yeah.
But then using that as a method to make him then go and tell John with some vigor about his lineage, that was a little hokey, a little TV.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. Av, you had any more?
No, that's it.
Okay. Am, I think you had another.
Oh no, that was it. That was it. Needing more Bran and Ghost. Yeah, that was it.
Okay. All right. So next section, moving along, is something I like to call Hagar's slang editorial, and these are some of the best quotes that we have. You know, as best you can mangle some quotes, but like what lines really struck you, meaning like whether the line was just a heavy line, whether it was clever, whether it meant something later on in this series, in this season.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's hit that. Anne, what were some of the good quotes for you?
Easily, best line of the episode was Daenerys responding to Sansa when Sansa's like, you know, I don't even know what I'm supposed to feed all these people, and what do dragons eat? And Daenerys said, whatever they want. That
was heavy. Looking forward, ladies, please help us out, because I know me and Am noticed. So this looking forward while talking to each other. What's that?
What's that?
What is that? What's going on here? Like, what's that?
Pure disrespect.
Like, is that like
pure?
You can grab the tension with a cleaver and chop it into little pieces. She was looking straight forward.
Put your hands right around it. That's what that is. That's true.
Great
that is
quote,
pure disrespect.
great quote.
Yeah, especially when they don't look at you and then they finish their line and then they turn and look at you like after. That is like that's a problem.
She pulled the Megan McCain on her. She definitely did. She just pulled one of them on her. Easily. Like, it's your job to listen to me.
Nasty.
Ooh.
Nasty. It's my job to what? It's my job to lose it. I'm about to leap over there with a sugar. She's about to leap over that diet with a sugar. She coming with that sugar from down low on a matzo ball of fury. Anyway, sorry. Respect to all my shalom, L'chaim. Okay. You know, they're my people. Am, you had any more quotes?
Arya saying that Sansa's the smartest person that she knows. That was really really dope. It just showed so much growth, like for real. Like,
yes,
John was surprised.
How far they come?
Exactly.
Yeah.
For her to say that,
means
she's watching Sansa. She's watching how Sansa's playing all of this, every single thing, and
Arya's playing great observant. She's peeping. Like, that's the faceless men training. She's peeping on everything. Like, I don't think anything's passing her. Like, when they asked her, when John got there, he said, "Where's Arya?" And she said, "She's lurking." Like, that's her Steve.
That was hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Morg.
I loved when Sansa said to Tyrion, "I used to think you were the cleverest man alive."
Bang. That's mine. That's mine right there. Bang. Bang. Because he needs to get his rug tugged.
Cash agrees. Yeah.
Yep. That's 3 right there. Bang. That's the line right there. Wait. With the walk-off.
With the walk-away.
Not be seen. When you read the script, that might not be in there. With the
walk-away.
Yes. Scene. Okay. Turn the page.
I did also love the Hound saying to Arya something to the effect of, like, "You're a cold bitch, aren't you? That's why you're still alive." Like, that was such a form. To me, I took that as like such admiration and respect for her, and
right.
You know, like,
it was like a verbal hug. Like,
right.
It was a verbal
That's
hug.
exactly what I said. Yeah. I was upset. I was like, if you don't hug her, and then when he said that, Morgan was like, that was the hug. Morgan said that was the hug right there.
But they both. Wait, did y'all pick up that Arya was happy that he's alive as well?
Oh
yeah. Yo,
because
that same scene. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Morgan.
No. Go ahead. I'll remember.
I was just going to say that same scene. My favorite line was when he was like, "You left me for dead." And she was like, "Yeah, but I robbed you."
Don't forget I robbed.
That was amazing.
Don't forget I robbed your ass, too.
I caught a lick.
You know, caught a lick. Left your ass handcuffed in the motherfucking hotel. City girls. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't want to fuck with a nigga. Yeah, that's what you know what I'm saying. Sorry, y'all. Oh, that's the next theme song for the next episode. All right. Anybody else got any more?
Yeah, my other favorite was I mean, this is just kind of simple, but when Sam and Bran were talking, and Bran's like, "Yo, you gotta tell him." Sam's like, "I mean, but he's your brother," and and Bran's like, "He's not my brother." Yo,
oh man. And he's not. You're right.
Yeah, right. It was like, facts. So fucking matter of fact.
I got one, y'all. Yes, because it's right aligned with what you're saying. It's not no much quote. It's a look. So did anybody notice that Drogon looked at John like, all right, we know you're kind of confused, but cousin, because we're cousins, stop kissing my mom. like, stop kissing my mom. Like, look, I know y'all haven't experienced this, but I'm a single man. I'm a bachelor. So when you're kissing somebody and their kids are around and they look at you with disapproval, it doesn't matter how passionate the kiss is or if your eyes closed. That kid's hate daggers are going to your soul.
Oh, yeah.
You open your eyes and he's looking right at you. Or from over a counter or around the corner, he's looking right at you. I hope you're not here in the morning type look. You better not be in the morning. I'm going to watch you breathe at night type of look.
Get off my mama,
on the
you
couch.
yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So they were looking at John, Drogon, and Viserion, or I could be quoting wrong. Rhaegar.
Yeah.
But Drogon was looking at him like cousin, because that's her children, and he's a cousin. Stop kissing my mom. Like, that's your aunt. You're confused.
You're tripping.
Chill out.
I thought that was a great moment quote. All right. Okay. So now I want to get to a good juicy part. And I like to call this section "What We Would Give to Get Our Direwolves Back." All of us in the pod are really partial to how they massacred our direwolves. They're extinct, and that really brings us to some misty-eyed moments.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know everybody's emotional high point or low point of the episode. Like, what put you most in your feels, good or bad? Either way.
Yo, young fucking Umber turning into a White Walker scared the shit out of me. Like, I was cool with him hanging out on the wall being a part of this like art project from the Night King.
Art installation.
Like, okay, that's fine, whatever. But yo, when he fucking like did his little that scared the shit out of me. I don't think I've ever been like caught off like that on Game of Thrones. I and was like, what's it exactly? A little scream like that, buddy. So it was a high and low point for me.
There's a blue-eyed Yakubian. But anyway. Blue-eyed Yakubian on fire. That's the way. All right, that was a moment. And
high point for me was Arya hugging John. That was
it is. That's mine too.
He lifted her up. I was like, her feet are dangling. Oh, this is too much.
You're right.
Oh my god.
We're such softies. We're soft. The show's made us soft.
Terrible.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was definitely a high point for me.
Morgan.
You guys have taken that, so I agree, but I will add the moment that Arya was standing there and the procession was coming through and she saw the Hound and then saw Gendry, I was like, oh, I'm gonna cry. Like, oh shit, this is really happening. Like, they're all gonna.
It's really going down.
Again. Yeah,
right, it's
like,
going down.
It was that was an emotional moment, goosebumps, for me. That and the way that she subtly changed her reactions for the two of them was just super dope. Like, you knew how she felt seeing both of them in a really short amount of time.
Okay. I echo y'all sentiments as the Arya and John moment. Like, just I had to put my fist up to my mouth, and I got really a little misty eyed there. But also the moment that hit me, and I know Ash had mentioned it was a little fumbling the latter part of it, but when Dany had to stand in front of him and tell her that she killed his all the males in his family, like, that got me a little bit. I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, I told you I totally forgot that was one of the reunions on deck. And so I wasn't prepared for it. And when they're talking about, oh, thank you for carrying Jorah, I thought it was all nice, and he's talking about his family. And then when he hears about his father, it's not so telling because, his father's an awful man. But then when he hears about his brother, I think it's twofold, y'all. I think he's sad that his brother got burnt alive, but also, he loved his brother, but also he's the head of the family now by default. Something he's always been running from. So I think that always puts him in an emotional lurch when it comes to that stuff. Afro.
Another hot, yes, sir.
What's the high point? What's the emotional high point?
Realizing that Jamie was that cloaked man and that old friend that Bronn had been around. And that for me was like, oh my God! Because they for real had not seen each other since the first episode.
Right.
Like, they
right.
both of them looking at one another. So that was like, whew, that was crazy.
That was major.
Anybody else got any more? Just the whole show coming back. That's an emotional high point, obviously. But the reunions that were woven in, I think, was a lot of fan service for us. These things had to happen, but they could have been handled clunkily. They did two at once, like Gendry and the Hound. So the Hound walks off, and then her and Gendry start flirting again like they used to. Lady Winterfell and all that stuff. So I think they just did really well for this first episode. So much stuff that's going on that I was just elated the whole episode.
Yeah.
So our next section is Craster's Airbnb, one of the most infamous Airbnbs ever to exist. He threatens to kill you in the middle of the night and don't look or touch his daughters. So what was your favorite scene or location? You can just pick one.
I think the opening.
Oh, yeah.
When everybody's arriving in Winterfell and you can see like the entire Unsullied army and Danny and Jon side by side on the horses, and it was just like everything was just shot so well. We talked about seeing Arya's face a couple of times and her expressions in that. The boy running and climbing, and that being reminiscent of the first episode, pilot episode. So just all of that for me. That whole first opening, the opening of the show was just, and it played into that like anticipation that we all had. It wasn't like too aggressive of a start. It was no dialogue happening. It was perfect for me.
More. Yeah, that's Cash's part too. Mark?
Call on me last.
Okay.
So for me, it's funny that Afro referred to it like this way earlier because it's definitely how I had it typed. My favorite scene location was definitely the Night King's art gallery at the end of the episode. That art installation.
What?
His art installation.
Oh my God!
That was amazing. That's the scene because again,
look, that wasn't down in Old City, a new museum opening. That was like macabre art. Like these people's arms were hanging on the wall.
Here's the thing, Castro.
This is not him like expressing himself like he's Saul Williams.
Oh, he was expressing himself.
He was. Castro, here's the thing. When they were walking into that room before they showed it to us, I'm sitting here like, oh, we're going to get another art installation. Something hit me. I was like, we're going to get another one.
You did think that?
Because those patterns, that's something we've seen him do. We've seen them do a lot. That spiral pattern. We've seen them. This is how I'm going to leave your peoples. We don't know what that means yet. But I was like, something is going to be
Well, it's actually the werewood tree. The werewood tree is always spirals around it from the aerial view.
Yes.
Y'all remember a lot of it,
And then also,
it's definitely going to come into play.
Like Afro said, that was a terrifying moment when that boy screamed. Like when you first saw his eyes open and turn blue, I said, oh, shit, it's about to go down. Then he just started screaming. We don't get that. That is not how we do Game of Thrones, bro. Like, what is happening right now? Like, yeah, that was amazing. That was amazing. That was definitely my favorite scene location. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we just saw the kid alive. Like we got him and lost him right there in the same episode.
Yeah, got him and lost him right there. Yeah, that was something. Little boy Umber.
Yeah.
May he rest in fiery hell or whatever, wherever Beric Dondarrion sent him. My favorite scene location was John and Danny dueling dragons. Like I was all about it. Them diving, going low, coming up, and then when they landed that ice waterfall, it could have been a cliche location. They didn't kind of, make it a grit-ish, like we could stay here forever.
Mm-hmm.
But just that look, when the CGI wasn't wonky, just them kissing in front of that half-frozen, half-working waterfall, all that was just gorgeous. The two dragons behind them and in front of them, like, that was my favorite shot there. I know how much money that could cost. Like, that, I think that sequence could have been like $4 million itself. Like, doing that much with the dragons, they had to create this whole rig. I watched the behind the scenes, those rigs they created to put John on there. To see John flying a dragon, yes, after it was kind of hokey, but just to see him, remember we've been waiting for him to fly a dragon for like 3 seasons, and he just gets on one. Like, that's what I love, the urgency of this episode in terms of, like, we don't have time to juggle.
I agree with
like,
that.
Yo,
I think that's one of the things I mentioned as, like, a payoff that we got in this episode. It was like, be it whatever, however you felt about it, there was still so many people waiting to see, how he connects.
Right.
Yes.
So
that.
the way that worked for me, I compared it to it was one of the Spider-Man movies when they redid the origin story, and he's falling all over the place. He doesn't know how to use his powers yet. He has to learn this whole process. So it wouldn't have made sense for us to wait until the 3rd episode when we had the battle, and all of a sudden John's a natural. We had to see him make mistakes. So that it had to play out in order for us to accept it in the 3rd episode. Oh, now he knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had to have some type of experience.
He knew how to park the dragon. He parked the
he
dragon.
didn't know how to park.
Right.
He didn't know how to bank.
Right. He always fell off the damn thing.
I'm just saying there was some natural ability there.
Right. And then
he took off on his own and parked the dragon.
As far as
and also, I think instinctively, if the dragon falls off the side, they would try to swoop down and catch them.
Okay, so also as far as just the whole lovey-dovey thing, I thought about it, right? This is the first time that we've had Daenerys actually fall in love with someone that wasn't under duress. You know what I'm saying? Like, with Drago,
not to save them or something.
Yeah, like this is
eventually under duress. Okay,
right. That started out as a very stressful situation, and eventually, she came around to him, and he came around to her. This was something like and then again, since then, how many ever seasons ago that was? She hasn't had anybody. So us getting the Disney moment comparison is hilarious, and it's definitely dead on. But it still is like her being lost in her emotions and all of this. It made sense. She hasn't had this, and she's still relatively young too.
And also
not
to get
relatively young, she's hella young.
She is young. And not to be cliche about it, but to get a woman scorned in the last season, like, this thing falls apart, maybe she'll act a little different. Maybe she'll be more mad. Maybe she'll get like her father. You know what I'm saying? Just in terms of like, just a reaction to a breakup. Yeah. Everybody does that. You know what I'm saying? And also, I'm sleeping with my nephew.
Yeah, this can go. This is going to go.
I think that gives her I can give her the engine to get mad kingish, to get like, more arrogant. And also, don't forget, his lineage leads to another man usurping her. Like her brother.
Right.
Like Drogon. She's not going to stand for that. She's not feeling that. All this women empowerment we've been dealing with all these years, and now they're going to say, well, he's the rightful heir. Who the boss?
Yep.
No big deal.
Yep.
I don't think she's going to like that at all. All right.
All right. One sec.
Wait, I have my favorite.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
My location. My favorite location, I believe, was the throne room. Wherever the fuck Cersei was when she found out there wasn't no elephant. That was my favorite.
I'm glad you
That was the throne room.
That was my favorite location.
So wait, can I share something with y'all? The elephant thing, right, was the one time that this show really broke the fourth wall and was directly talking to fans. Because in the book, the Golden Company is infamous for these elephants, like in 300, all weaponized. I don't know what they have on the side of them. And that's what they were letting us know. We can't afford to CGI this. There are no elephants. Girl, after she slept with the nigga, damn, I really wanted some elephants.
Oh my God. Gave up all the goods and was like, where the fuck are those elephants at, though?
Yo, so that was them really talking to us. So yo, ain't gonna be no elephants in the show, y'all. Y'all saw the woolly mammoths for the Giants, but we sorry. She said post-coital. Damn, I really wanted some elephants.
That was my favorite.
That was perfect. That was perfect. All right, so we got another curious, and I know I'm a little remiss because I did want to hear App go off on somebody, but I think we'll do an admirable job in her seat. The next section we got to blast out with is a little remiss because one of our members had to step off, and I would love to hear what she had to say, but I think we'll do good in her steed. And this section is Robert Baratheon's hot pot. And this section basically goes over to who was just doing the most this episode, who had the most to do and tried to do it all. Morg, hit me.
Oh man, I really did not want to go first.
Am, hit me.
Okay, who was doing the most? Tyrion was doing the most.
Yes.
When they were in the Great Hall, and all the lords were there to discuss the plans, the strategy moving forward. Tyrion, I feel like he should have he's so used to being able to, take center stage and win everyone over with his wit and strategies and, some great speech. And he's so displaced right now. And he did not understand that you mentioning anything related to the Lannisters was not a good play, bro. It was not a good play. Like, nah. That was terrible material.
Like, that's
Nobody's
not what we don't want to hear. That's your bringing.
Right. Exactly. It's hard enough.
That's what you're bringing to the table?
Right. It's hard enough.
You could have left with that.
For them to accept you removed from the Lannisters. They already are suspicious of you, period. Because they know you're a Lannister. But then you want to sit here and say, don't worry about it. My family's coming to the rescue. Even though, like, you and your sister aren't on the same page, they're still viewing you as all the same family that they hate, that they have been warring with. So now you're like, don't worry, we got y'all. We got what? If you don't go ahead and sit down somewhere, Tyrion, like, bruh, bad call, fam. Bad call.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Tyrion needs we were just speaking on that. Tyrion needs a retribution. Big time. He's been taking a lot of L's, and he needs to do something other than what he's been doing. My person is it's actually two people. It's Cersei, fucking Euron, and Cersei. And Cersei being fucking Cersei. Like, you are so distracted and doing the most of nothing. Like, and that carries on to this season too. You wilding, you got the banging outfits on, but Lord knows what you're doing. I think the pregnancy thing I told y'all before is gonna blow up in her face. And look, man, like, come on, man, like, what are you
come on, man,
nothing worth for nothing.
Can we talk about Cersei real quick? This, just for a moment. She's my person too, but
bang.
That moment when, first of all, you're on fucking yuck. Just yuck. Just fucking yuck.
Wet boy.
Just wet.
Yeah, everything wet. Like
makes me want to throw up. Just
wet.
Yuck.
Wet ass.
Yeah. So the moment when he's doing the slimy shit, like, let me come through real quick.
Just a tip.
When she turns up, right. When she, like, gives the flat queen shit, buy a whore, earn a queen, walks away, and then what the fuck was the look back? Because the look back was a confusing look for me.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what that was. And this actually is the next section about predictions, but I'm going to say it now. She did that in public, right? So everybody was there at court. They could see her do it, right? She wanted everybody to see it done. She wanted it to look all weird because then she can say he's the father of this imaginary baby, if there's a baby. She can't do the Jamie shit no more. She has no beard.
Oh.
Not married to Robert. She's never been with anybody since that point. And not the other Lannister boy, whatever. She can't cover it up if she's pregnant.
Wow.
So she can't cover it up if she's pregnant. So she wanted to make
about that.
Yeah, somebody told me that on the back end, y'all. I didn't think of that either. They said, yo, she did that on purpose so people could see that and could say, well, that's where his baby's from, because she has no other source. It shouldn't be from him.
Right.
And when he comes out all blonde, she could still say, no, it's Euron's kid. And that's why she did it that way. She thought about it right then. She had that look. That look was just more acting, more Cersei being fucking fuck Cersei.
Yeah.
She is good.
Yeah, see? Right? Right?
My fucking Cersei.
She is her daddy. Look, her waiting to decide to them kill to everybody to kill each other. What's that remind y'all of? Tywin. Back in King's Landing.
Real
After,
shit.
you know, waiting to the minute. There's a battle? All right, let's go. You know, so she's doing the same shit.
You got that war?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Them, you know, ravens, you know, they kind of fly in circles around here, but we don't really get everything, all right?
We don't get it all. We don't get it all.
Right.
But yeah,
Wow,
Cersei
I did not think about that. Just the way she was, so that definitely, I knew she was up to something, obviously, but like, I didn't think about that. And the way she looked back was just so, confusing. Like, she looked like she was resigning when she doesn't resign.
But
you know what I mean?
I thought it was him.
So it was like
browbeating her with the her trying to push the finish line after the war, then after the war. After the cast, like, you know, he's like, wars could last for years, and she knows she's not going to get this mat off her back. So let me use him like he wants to use me. But I think giving up the pussy like that is going to lead him to just turning his ships around, taking his ball, and going home right at a critical moment.
Yeah, he got what he wanted already.
Yeah.
And he knows he's on the losing side.
Yep.
If you don't know, he's going to find out.
Right.
All right, we're about down to our final closing segment. And this segment pretty much simply is called, y'all niggas seen that, right? And so it's pretty much... it's pretty much short-term predictions and theories. We don't really like to delve into predictions in this show, but it's the last season. So I wanted us to get into just what this episode particularly may predict for the next couple of episodes. You don't have to go full on to what's going to happen or bring up even that weirdo Azor Ahai shit, but just in the manner of what do you think is going to happen just from what we just saw. And let me kick it off. All right? Because we just talked about one of my ones. And basically in my notes I said, don't sleep on Cersei, making it known that she wants to reluctantly and did fuck Euron to hide Jaime's possible fatherhood on the new Cersei demon spawn. All right, so that's just to cover her bets why she did that public spectacle. So I think that's, you know, that was one thing. And also, another thing not to sleep on is Yara reclaiming the Iron Islands while Euron is playing baby daddy side John. Because when they take the defeat, they will take a defeat. You know, I've been saying this for years. They'll need to retreat to the Iron Islands where the dead can't reach because they're on islands and they don't have boats. So they'll need a place to go back to safely to reconvene and try to re-engage the army, because that probably will happen. So her going back there to reclaim the Iron Islands, letting Theon go and fight is a good move because they will need a place to retreat. That wasn't just she wasn't just saying that out of her ass. Morg, you got something? Oh wait, sorry, y'all. I got one. Morg, you say yours and then I'll bring it.
No, please keep going because I don't.
Okay. All right. And then also there's a rumor going around. If y'all seen the previews of Arya running around Winterfell while it's on fire, but looking very scared. There's a rumor going around that they might have to fight quote unquote relatives raised by the Night King from the Winterfell crypts.
Oh my God.
Like their mom or their uncle. Like they don't have to go too deep, but their grandfather.
God.
Or anybody that's down there, Lysa, chasing Arya around.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
Oh my God.
When did this become a horror show?
Right.
That could happen though.
God.
I've seen on a number of reviews, they keep mentioning about the bodies in the crypts and maybe they have to fight their family. Ned, a headless Ned, chasing you.
No.
That is horrible.
Oh.
But think
about that, y'all. Like that could come to truth. But because that scene looks, all of us is wondering, what is she running from? That she's that scared, especially the demeanor she showed recently. she could be running, but she looked frightened. She wasn't even scared of the weight when she was gut bleeding. So what if she's getting chased by her mom? Maybe decided to bring Lady Stoneheart thing in. Have her resurrected.
No, my God, that would be terrible.
By the Night King. What if it's just one or two of them? Maybe the Night King just stands outside and raises 4 of them, and they start crawling around the castle, killing people.
I mean, that's major. That would be so dope. That would be amazing. Yeah.
What if he has Benjen with him?
Okay.
But you got to remember.
I know I did more, but I wanted to bring me.
You got to remember, Benjen was killed with different glass.
What?
You know, the different glasses have different properties. I'm not sure if everyone's aware of that. There are different. There's like 3 or 4 different types of dragon glass, and they all have different properties. Which is why
I'm pretty sure that this follows them.
What do you mean he was killed with different? What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah. Check.
Do you have this written down somewhere? This whole alternate.
No.
So what does that mean?
Done some of the
he
research.
Was swarmed by white.
Well, yes, that part is accurate. And I think for that reason, we will not see him.
And he was already half Walker when he bumped into him, right? Remember?
It's very true.
He's half White Walker.
It's very true.
Remember?
But he was a White Walker that retained his memory, which is what I was leading to as far as them using different dragon glass to transform people, and there's different ways this can go. I do not think we'll see.
Maybe they did.
I don't think we're going to see Benjen
the
again.
dragon glass in him. I hope the hell not.
I mean, I don't.
Friendship is going to be on the fringe if he pops back up.
I don't see
Jesus
it.
Christ.
I think if they did that, it would be too much. I would dislike it. We don't need Benjen's gone.
Look at you. You're giddy. You're actually giddy. But even though Benjen would be chasing his nieces.
I would hate that.
With ice spears.
Is wrestling around so much.
What happened?
Him.
Who?
Damn, it's like you're wrestling in a Nordic windbreaker.
It's a windbreaker.
Really?
Yes.
Definitely windbreaker sounds. Are you cleaning CDs? What are you doing?
I'm just sitting still. I'm sorry. Maybe something.
I don't know. There's a lot of white people. Are you
definitely
ceramics?
not sitting still.
Are you folding like newspaper around ceramics? Like, these are the sounds that we hear right now.
Well, I'm sitting still now. Now that you guys are coming at me. So.
Boy, now he's sitting still.
I don't know what was happening before, but now it's certainly I'm sitting still.
He's not rolling up liqueur or paint tart now. So we're good to go.
Definitely a tart.
All right. Em,
yes.
You got any predictions?
Yes. I feel like Dany is not going to relinquish the power. She's not. I don't think she's. No. I don't. She's come too far.
Mm-hmm.
She's not. That's going to cause the rift. Like, we're going to get that. This paradise that we have right now, this little utopia, is not going to last long. I think it's going to happen after the big battle. I think John's still going to be wrestling with this, and then before we know it, like, I feel like the end of the next episode, the Night King will be at Winterfell.
The door.
I think it's going to be the cliffhanger.
In the midst of that,
we're
going to have this power struggle.
Yeah, because
you think it's going down.
We get the big battle. We get the big battle in the 3rd episode, and it may come out then. Him saying something to Dany, but she's not. She's not going to bend the knee. She's not going to, in any way, relinquish her power.
Look how far she's come.
Yeah, way too far. Yeah,
that's a long way to come.
Nah, she's not doing it. Yeah. So I think that.
And like I said, even though it's cliche, I think it's a good way to get a woman scorned into the show.
Listen,
and she's a major player.
So now we got, we got Cersei, chilling over at King's Landing, trying to pull things off the way she's trying to pull things off. Have everybody just, trying to play everyone against the middle. And I do think that she's also. I think there's a level of arrogance with Cersei that makes her think she will be able to strike a deal. Yeah, but I think Cersei actually thinks she's going to be able to strike a deal with the Night King. I think she's expecting the Night King to decimate her enemies. I think she thinks she can do that. I really do. I think that she thinks she can poly that, because this is the undead.
So this is like
there's no winning that.
Abraham's doppelganger wants the ATM code.
Right.
That's what's happening.
Right.
Same difference.
Right. Yeah. So
okay.
that's my prediction.
All right. she's been wild. All right. I think that brings us to a conclusion. Morg, you said you didn't have any necessarily for this episode, right?
No, but I agree with both of yours.
Okay. Yeah, then that section will always be light. I just want us to keep it, specific to the episode. But we thank all of y'all for, I make sure everything remains raw. I challenge you to spell Jake in Hagar. There's only 5 episodes left. I will be doing that just to let y'all know this is the same way we felt when Buster would drop a record and we're like, damn, it's only 2 years left. So, but we love the show, so we hope y'all stick with us as we keep piling up these reviews. And I don't know, until next time.
Yeah.
If the Night King doesn't knock on your door.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of A Podcast Has No Name. If this is your first time, check us out. Please make sure you subscribe. We're on Apple Music, Spotify, Google, all the places where you listen to podcasts. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Podcast Has No Name. Deuces.
Subscribe, please. Click and comment.